employee login and security and setup. So that's under admin, rules setup. You'll see here there's employee reps and employee reps add. So add will give you a blank page so you can add a new employee. Employee reps will show you your employees that you have currently in the system. So when you could fill out the information and narrow your search, or you can just pull up everyone and then edit that employee. So now when you look at this, they have a rep number, an employee number, a proximity card, as well as a username. The username is what they use to log in and out. And then underneath that is the password. You're not able to see the people's password. Once it's set, it's in the system and it's encrypted in the system.
So are the employees going to set this up themselves, or do we do it for them and then they change their password? How does that work?
Right. Usually what you do is you set them up for them. Then you have this little button, reset password, and then next time they log in, they can reset the password. Okay. So it also has the status. It tells you that they're active, or they can be flagged as terminated, and then on leave, so then they won't have access to the system.
Okay.
User type is very important because the user type tells you what screens you have access to.
Right.
And I'll show you how you can document that as well. We also have integrated into the system time card processing, so then you can set up, take pictures of the employee and set up employee badges as well. In here, other things that are important is if you have an employee that's a salesperson as well, you might want to give them access to be able to sell. If they're a person who can generate purchase orders and buy material, you might give them access to buy material. If they're a person who needs to approve purchasing materials or payments, you give them access to be an approver. And if they want to override certain features like pricing and stuff like that, they become a sales manager. In the system, you can set up commission and multi-tiered commission levels, and we can get into that into detail. This hourly wage is really for a generalized wage. It's not really used for payroll, but it's for reporting purposes. And then they have the person's first name, the person's last name, and the email address. The email address is important because if you want to email your clients, it will automatically put that in as the return email address for those emails. Here's another important item is purchasing limit. So if you're generating purchase orders, you can set up a limit for that. And then you won't be able to purchase anything over that, but you generate a request which someone else can approve.
Okay.
All the blue items within everything within OpenPro, if it's blue like that, it's a required field. If it's not blue, it's not a required field. Another neat item is we have this training mode. So if you go into training mode, it will tell you about the menu, and when you log in, it will give you features on the system.
Okay. Should I just click that for everyone then, basically?
I would say initially that would be a good idea.
Okay.
then another thing is cell phone number. If you set up a cell phone number and their carrier, you'll be able to send them out text messages on their cell phone if they need information like that.
Like Dan or I could send the employee messages?
That is correct. That is correct. And another thing is people can have different colors and styles, and that's what these things are about, the image directory and style sheet. And then a signature, this would be a signature of all the emails that are sent out by that employee.
So is this, how does this correlate with Outlook though, like our typical?
So this is a system sent email, and it will act as though it's from the email that you put in here, but it's physically coming out of our web servers, our email servers. Okay, so
like, let's say, like I'm seeing a couple employees here that are either left or terminated or retired. Should we do like an example where we can where we get rid of, like,
sure.
one example where we get rid of an employee and one where we might add an employee, something like that?
Yeah. Which one do you want to get rid of?
So second from the bottom, K Bloss retired. I mean, sorry, second from the top, right under me.
Oh, okay. Okay. And then in there, we just change it to terminated. And then K Bloss will not be able to log in anymore. And hit save.
Okay.
And then what happens is next time you do a search, you'll see that K Bloss will be gone.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. And then can we do one where we add someone?
Sure. So then let's go ahead and add someone. So
like, how do I know what rep number to assign?
well, if you want to, you can have the system assign it and get the next rep number.
Okay.
But I don't know if, because we haven't assigned any, I don't know if that's going to help. Hold on one second. Let me